This is the second video that I've put together in a series of videos around creating portrait pages. In the first video, we talked about how you take your portrait CD that you receive from your photographer, get that mailed in to Jostens so we can upload those pictures, and then once those pictures are on the site, how you go in and edit those pictures to make sure you have all names spelled correctly in the right grade and so forth. So if you have not watched that video first, go back, watch that, and then come back to watch this video. In the next few minutes, I'm going to walk you through the next steps after that, which would be how you would create a template for your pages and how you would flow your pictures onto your pages. So the first step in creating your pages is to build a template. This is often a step that I will help with. If you have an idea or a vision for what you want your pages to look like, I will be glad to help with this step. One of the key components in building your templates is understanding or knowing how many students are in each grade or in each class, because that will determine how many boxes are needed. And then the best place to start is in the Design tab of the Page Designer. And in the drop-down, you have a section called Portraits under the Page Surfer category. Now, there are also portrait layouts in these themed packages. So if you choose any of these themed packages and you come down to the very bottom and click on People, it's going to give you a couple of different options of layouts that you could use out of the themed packages. These are great layouts. A lot of schools use these, and they incorporate other content to go along with some of the rules of design that we encourage you in when it comes to including other content other than just the portrait pictures. So like in this layout, you've got portrait pictures at the top, you've got some candids running along the bottom, and then in the middle, you've got a couple of different content modules where you're incorporating some little quotes and other content to be interactive and engaging. But generally, you will work from the portraits area, and you will see there are lots of different choices. These are all click, drag, and drop. There's all different types of choices. Some of these have smaller pictures. Some of these have larger pictures. Some of these have names to the outside. Some of these have names underneath. Some of these will already have, like the ones you're looking at now, some other content built into the page to kind of prompt you to incorporate other info on the page. Others will be what I consider really generic layouts like this, that's just kind of wall-to-wall pictures that you can either do like this or you can customize those. So for example, let's say that you wanted to use a layout like that, and then you wanted to be able to customize it. So I would put the layout on the page, and then I can, what I call, carve that template. So you could possibly come in and create space in the middle by deleting out certain rows like that, and so then you could fill this with other content. Remember that in the Design tab you also have a section called Click and Goes, and under Click and Go you have several different categories such as photo presentations and quotes and sidebars that are really pre-designed pieces of pages to help you fill in areas like this. When you are carving a template, also remember you can not only carve out in the middle, but maybe you want to have photos at the top, and then maybe you want to create other content running along the bottom, or you can create space maybe just along the side to where your portraits are on kind of one page and a portion of another page. So again, all these examples that I'm showing you now are just different ways that you would carve up or carve out your portrait pages to create a template. There are templates that have names underneath. If you prefer the names to be underneath, if you scroll down towards the bottom, you'll see some of those. And then you can customize those as well. Once you have created a template, it is very common that you would want to use the same template on more than one page. So in this case, let's say that you wanted pictures at the top and at the bottom, and then you wanted to allow the middle part of the page for additional content. So I'm just going to grab a really quick example of what that could look like. All right, and so I've taken a basic template, I've carved out some space, I've customized it, and now I would want to save that as a template. So I'm going to go to the File menu, save it as a template, give it a name, and click Save. What that does is it makes it so that you can place that template on other pages on your ladder. Those, once you save it, can be found under Designs, Custom, and My Templates. Whatever you named it, you would find that, click, drag, and drop that onto as many pages as you need this template for. Now you're ready to flow your pictures on the pages. This flow button over on the far right, that is its sole purpose, is to help you flow the pictures on the pages. So I would click on the flow button. I would then come choose the folder that I want to flow. So I want to flow the 7th grade folder. It'll tell me the total number of images that are available to be flowed for that category, how many have already been flowed, and any remaining images. So the first time you flow, that number should be 0, and these two numbers should be the same. And then I'm simply going to click my Flow button. It'll put the names and the faces in the layout for me, going from left to right. And so if you did need to do a flow just on, for example, the right page, you would simply change your view from facing pages to left or right, and it'll flow on the specific page that you have designated. All right? If you ever need to reset and reflow a category, so like in this case, let's say I decided that I've really got enough students just to fill the top, I'm going to do something else down here at the bottom, maybe some more candid pictures, so I'm just going to delete those off of my layout, and I'm going to reset and flow again, and now it flows onto the two pages. Okay. If you do have more photos than will fit on a single page, you would notice here that it would tell you that you had remaining images to be flowed. It would also prompt you in the middle of the screen if you wanted to flow onto the next page. So that's kind of a really brief, quick outline of how you work through the Design tab to pick portrait templates out of the page surfers, how you can customize those, how you can save those as custom templates to place on multiple pages, and then how you use the Flow tab to flow. Again, I'll be glad to do as much work around this as you need. If you need some in-school training on that, we can coordinate that as well. This is a good starter video to help you and your students get started working on your portrait pages.